line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Welcome to Francorchamps here today as the Porsche Cup Challenge Series have come to you live here at Francorchamps here as we are getting ready for a hot rally race today. It's going to be a wild little show as we're about to get set for the action, set for the track. A huge driver lineup coming to you Vic and coming to you strong. This is your starting lineup for heat number 1, entering in for the A main. Hello everyone, I am the Crusader Chris Dry, joining you guys here today. We are here with the Porsche Cup Series here. Of course, these Porsche 911s are going to be fast, they're going to be powerful, and they're going to be brutal, testing even the best of drivers in their toughest of terrains. So with that said in mind, here is the starting lineup here. Philip Hammer, the number 60 on the pole. The 85 is Corey Lazarus. Row number 2 is a 160 of Daniel Thomas. Outside, the 81 is Benji Peterson. And row number 3 is a 100 of Jordan Strudwick. The outside in the 952 is Kagan Spark. Row number 4 is Spencer Mash. In the 34, the outside, the 977 is Felipe Straffarelli. Row number 5 is going to be the 718 Jason Lyons. The outside, and the 76 is Thorsten Seifert. Row 6 is the 210 of Salvatore Garanto. Row and outside in that row is the 93 of Nalium Killen. Next row on down is going to be row number 7, Alexander Wilfred. The 79, the outside, the 52 is Mark D. Bruin. Row number 8 is the 42 of Alexander Redhead. The outside, the 496, Kenny Eckert. Final starters in row 9 is the 552 of Marcus Broich. And the outside, the 145, Francisco Franco. I hope I got all of them right. Ready to line them down on the track here and get them set to the show. Green about to drop. And green flag is out. We are off and running here at Francorchamps. And we're getting a little bit cozy, a little too cozy out of the start, looks like. Didn't quite get as much speed as you was expecting out of there. Let's go head to head here now with Corey Lazarus. Lazarus going to back off with the first sector. Hammer now swinging right through the sector into the corners here from that elongated straightaway down to the slight end curves. Huge running bill as everybody right now maneuvers their way through the speed, through the traffic zones here. Everyone looking for an opening. These dedicated road course, man, I tell you, they're fun to race. They're tough as tail to try to place. I can tell you that right now just by looking at what we're going on right now on the track side. On board here with Kagan Spark, right now he deals with the pressure from behind. Daniel Thomas, Benji Peterson, and Spencer Marsh right in the mix, trying to make a run for it here immediately. Each driver trying to hold their arms off, trying to hold their drive in, keep the elbows in, and keep the steering wheels at bay. Easier said than done, I can tell you that much, just from experience. Francorchamps too, it's probably one of the most winding, twistingest roads you can probably run up on, of course, with a track like this. I think that really kind of makes it that much more difficult for these Porsche 911s to have to work around and have to face off with. In terms of speed and scope, though, I think, honestly, you kind of got to give it to the Super 60 Philip Hammer, though, as the guy that everyone's going to be trying to take down a few notches. We have seen, though, from Thorsten Seifert that he can make some runs here and some good charges here if he needs to. And the number 76 would certainly love to do it here. Jason Lyons, I think, is probably the most interesting one here because I don't think we've got a really good showcase of him so far in terms of the season, in terms of the scope. So we'll have to see how that plays out, what he can really do on the track. Each driver right now continuing to battle, and you can see putting some fenders and some side skirts together. No! And there goes trouble. That's Benji Peterson. And the 81 getting slinged around right off the blackout. The 81 just had a blackout moment, and it ended up being on the receiving end, straight off the corner and off the back burner. Take a look at the P2 Race TV Instant Replay. That's definitely not the way I think he was expecting this to happen. Oh, look at that. Backed off and fought hard, and next thing you know, he got turned. Bit of a blatant move off, if you ask me. I don't know if I really agree with that. You can see when he got it refired, at that point he was already kind of left high and dry, so he really had no choice but just get back under the wraps and back on the track. Spencer Marsh right now trying to stick with Daniel Thomas there as those guys go at it a little bit. Philip Hammer is still your race leader. But how long can he keep that lead up, especially knowing He's got a who's who of drivers trying to knock him off that. With Corey Lazarus still right close in proximity, just under half a second to go. You're on board with Philip Hammer. George Strudwick here and Kagan Spark also having a good little showcase here. Again, this is their first sprint race of the day. Then they have the feature main event coming up. A little warm up after this, so you'll get a little bit more squared up. See where the track's kind of burning around at. Maybe where the tires are starting to cook up from. Where they make their moves and where they make their drives off to. Germany so far this season has been pretty much dominating most of this Porsche racing though. And it seems like the Australians, like Lazarus, has had some brilliant success in some hopeful spots, but unfortunately, it doesn't quite pertain to the being on the top of the mountain, unfortunately, and I think it's been one of their biggest deals they're facing here. If he can figure out a way to kind of get more settled in, though, he may have a chance here. Good onboard camera here for Jordan Strudwick here. As you see, Lazarus now still trying to climb up the mountain, and Philip Hammer trying to just break every little piece of that rock to formate off from Lazarus so he can't get ahead of him. Back down to the right side here. Big move coming up. Kagan Spark. Big jump right off that corner. Beautifully executed. You got to sharpen your turns up. You got to sharpen those corners down a bit if you want to make moves like that. That was a brilliant overtake. But now almost really just going full throttle straight into the sweeping right-hander, back to the left side, and then on around. That's impressive to me, honestly. I have heard of this track before, actually. I'm not completely road course illiterate, thank you very much. I do know a Spa-Francorchamps, but the one thing I remember is that sweeping front straightaway to the swapping right hand, to that right swinging right-hander, then to straight into the left side. I do know of that corner. I have seen many highlight reels, some good and others that probably would wince a little bit, and I probably should never think about ever again. But it is certainly a track that I have actually tried a little bit on. I have raced the circus a little bit, so I've raced the Chicago Street course, and I raced this one a little bit. And yeah, I can tell you, this place is no joke. It's tough as nails. It's tough to tame. I can't figure out how to completely figure it out, but when you get it rolled into the track and you get surface kind of cleared out, man, it certainly makes a difference, and it makes for a good pushing opportunity to run from it. Lowering the way down from the track side here right now, Niall Killen. I really hope I am saying that name right. Currently trying to pursue the Morelio Racing Green team. Right there with Mark DeBruin, Alexander Wolfred, and of course Kenny Eckert right behind, and Eckert the only American in this race. Yeah, how's that for style? We got mostly drivers from the United Kingdom, North America, of course, with Mexico, Canada, and the United States represented. And then kind of in that mixed breed, we kind of come onto this circuit, we kind of come onto these races, and it's like it's a whole different story. It's European style, mixing it in with a little bit of hard racing. Kagan Spark, after that big move he made on Jordan Strudwick there, hasn't let off since then. Matter of fact, he's been keeping it right up the tail and up to par. I talk about the sweeping right-hander. Let's show you what it's like. Philip Hammer on board. Look at this, gains so much speed. It's almost like it's a downhill slope, and then look at this. You gotta shoot that corner so quick, straight left and right. Sweep the right-hander, sought the left side, and then bureau the speed. So much power and so much run you have to control and conservate through that turn, that straightaway, man. It just absolutely kills you on that run and that speeds. And speaking of that, it's Jordan Strudwick looking to strut off into the sunset ahead. But he has got a little bit of a problem, and that is Spark not letting him by that easily. Strudwick back down a little bit, and yet forced off. But it's Daniel Thomas who gets a little bit of too much of the old bump and rub, the Rubbins racing mentality. May not be too kind with these Porsche Cup cars there, boys. I think you may want to stick to the stock cars on that. Oh, speaking of sticking to that stock cars a little bit, nice save from Kagan Spark. That is a beautiful save there. The rear end slipping out underneath him. What did he do? He sent it right like a little dirt tracking, and I'm hanging in there. This thing is not flying on me that easily. I like that. That was a good save there. You're on board with Thorsten Cypher as we continue to maneuver our way through this winding, treacherous track. We'll of course get our little track briefing here and give you guys a little insight and look at why this place is so tough to tame and so tough to figure out for our road course side. But again, today's broadcast is presented in part by our friends at Suellio Almeida Motor Racing Checklist, an in-depth racing course for intermediate and advanced drivers looking to find more. Visit us up at motorracingchecklist.com. Of course, I am your host in the booth right now, Christian the Crusader Striver. As many of you know me quite well. It's great to have you all back on board. Great to hear from you again. Of course, we do have ourselves some stock car racing, some stock truck racing, if you will. NASCAR Truck Series. We'll be back with Martinsville Speedway today, as we'll see them in action with Pedal to Metal Racing Leagues showcase there. Until then, though, we are currently finishing out our day here in Francorchamps, as it's a great battle right now in the European to the long-standing world drivers. This is legitimately the world circuit of racing, if you will. Literally, drivers from all across the pond, across the lands, across the seas, and shining to sea. Just going at it in cars that I honestly gotta have absolutely no idea how they hang on to. Oh yeah, you want to talk about speed too, by the way? We talk about how fast the car can go. These guys are hitting speeds of 172 miles per hour. In a Porsche car, man. That thing has got to be flying and literally feeling like you're all over the place like that. Oh! Kagan Spark and Spencer Marsh clipped up right in and mixed it up a little bit. Oh my. Well, I said hard racing is racing, and that certainly is the case, but what the heck happened here? Look at the replay. Look at this. Got tight, and then it got loose, and then all of a sudden, where the heck are we going here? That is trouble. Way too hard and aggressive into the turn there, it looked like, and that pretty much set everybody back a peg there, back a spot. Spencer Marsh, no idea where the heck he was going, but he got a little help there from one in the back. As you can see, slowed off, then he tried to break it, then he cornered it, and then he just destroyed it. And then almost like literally just a director saying, shoot the gap right there in the middle. Got away with it. Nicely done, but unfortunately for Spencer Marsh and all of them, well, let's just say they're not too happy of campers down there. Niall Killen right now trying to stick there with Salvatore Garanto. I know I am saying that last name wrong, so I'm just going to say Salvatore. Right now with Alexander Redhead also right in the middle of it, currently having to kind of play the middle card of the monkey in the middle. Best lap times right now, 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2 minutes 20.38 was the fastest Philip Hammer, but 20.24 is currently the fastest of the bunch. And that was set by, of course, Corey Lazarus. Lazarus a little bit faster, but unfortunately that speed's not exactly translating to making passes here. Credit where credit's due, though. He's hanging in there with him, and he's not leaving his bumper, too. That's pretty much how these two have been this entire heat. This sprint race has definitely given them quite something to think, and Hammer got to be believing, man, I am not going to get him off my tail, so I'm going to have to either fight him or I'm going to probably have to block him. If it were me, I'd be fighting. Lazarus, though, right now, he's the only one that knows he needs to truly fight and put it up there on Hammer without trying to touch him or trying to get himself into too much trouble there. Well, we're down to the final 2 minutes left on the clock here. Going to be interesting to see what happens from here, if they will continue to keep it going, or will they get the white flag out? I think they may get them one more lap for sure, at least. But right now, Hammer and Lazarus just narrowingly just avoiding any conflict of interest or any conflicts of issues. Still a long way to go, though, before they can really start to put this up in the grasp zone here. Looks like Hammer may be getting a little bit comfy here. Lazarus may be starting to lose a little bit of that speed, a little bit of that brink. How far wide are these guys going to go as well, by the way? These guys are driving the wheels off these things, man. I'm pretty sure this is going to be their last lap coming up here. Yeah, that is the case. Ooh, a little bobble there from Hammer. Could that give Lazarus a little bit of breathing room? You just can't overdrive corners like that and think you can get away with it for so long. Not in this kind of league. Definitely not with this tough of competitors and challenge. Here we go now, down to the straight. There it is, white flag coming out. We're going to have ourselves a battle. Lazarus and Hammer, one-on-one, mano-a-mano. There is a gap difference in the time zones there. Lazarus slightly faster than Hammer. And now the straightaways lead him off. Hammer looking on. Lazarus looking to try to find a way around him if he can. He's going to shoot for the right side. To the gap. Can he burrow it? He forces Hammer in a tight spot. He's going for the crossover. Jumps straight to the left side. Looking for the pass. Still can't get it. Oh, and he makes a little bobble there. Got too aggressive and ended up slipping the rear end out. The front of the nose can't grip if you slip it out like that. Lazarus is going to have to be patient. He's going to need to be a little bit more cautious. Maybe a little bit more weary of making a move like that. Hammer trying to stay in the bound zone. That's out of bound zone. Is not going to give you any credit there, good sir. Hammer literally got to just be thinking in the back of his head like, what the heck do I got to do to get this guy off my tail? I can't get rid of him no matter what I do. Well, at this point, you may want to figure something out because he's going to be right there with you when you get to the feature race coming up soon enough. Hammer driving much cleaner, a little smoother. Lazarus is getting extremely aggressive, and honestly, it's costing him. He's getting way too shoddy in the corners and way too hard off the exits, and that will cost him. I'm pretty sure that's a time delta penalty he just gained there. Yep, it looks like it. You can't use that much of the track up, good sir. You gotta use what you're given. Maybe he was trying to think if he ain't winning, if he ain't cheating, but the thing is, I think Hammer honestly just got him outplayed here. Point blank. Rolls it right off. Hammer one more time by. Down the big straightaway, sends it off into the final distance. Lazarus gave it everything she had. But this one looks like Philip Hammer conceals and defeals everything. He'll defy them all out and take home the win. Philip Hammer is your heat winner. Wow. Meanwhile, in the final battle here, currently for the top 5 spot, Jason Lyons and Thorsten Seifert having a good little tussle with Felipe Straffelli right behind him, but unfortunately, Leon's going to take it home. And I know I said Lyons earlier. I think it's Leon's, though. Rest of finishers coming through the circle here. What a race. That was impressive. And again, I'm not the biggest on road course racing, nor do I know how to call this stuff as good as many other announcers do, but I'll give them credit where credit's due. They made that fun to watch there. Credit to Philip Hammer and Corey Lazarus for quite a show there. Alright, speaking of that, it's time to go ahead and clear that out. Let's take a look at our race results here. Very, very interesting setup there for these drivers. A very wild position for everyone involved. But there is your finishers here. Hammer hangs on. Lazarus going to go second. Jordan Strudwick going to go third. Daniel Thomas fourth. Jason Leon's going to go fifth. Thorsten Seifert sixth. Felipe Straffelli is going to go seventh. Eighth to Kagan Spark. Ninth to Salvatore Girianto. Hope I said it right this time. Niall Killian is going to go top 10 as well. That will round out the field for your heat. We're going to set the pace for warm-up. Just another few more seconds left on the clock here. We'll be right back, and we'll be back with your feature main event coming up. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is feature time here on Pizza Racing TV. We are getting ready and loaded up here with you as you're getting ready with us. Here is your starting lineup for this one. The field of drivers now flip-flopped and a little bit crisscrossed, and things definitely thrown a little bit of a curveball. A lot of drivers are not ready for this one, but they are going to have to do with what they've got. The field now set and ready. Gagan Spark, Felipe Straffarelli going to look to set the tone up pretty well here and looking to settle them off down to the start. This will be a doozy here as they get ready to roll them out. The lights ready to flicker on here. Feature time begins. Let the race commence. Shoot him down. Spark take the early leads. Seifert, Mike behind. Thomas, Straffarelli running their way down through the gaps. Leon's trying to get some control over as Lazarus and Hammer immediately jump shoot him right. Big jump off from the hole shots. Those hole shots are very important here. Spark trying to keep his gap, trying to keep his speed up to par. And the rest of the field making their way through. Round through the winding turns. Lazarus, he got clipped around. Oh, and he got even more headed around there. Gets bunked back a little bit. Philip Hammer taking control of that, moves it ahead. I don't know who got him there, but man, that was a nice little hit there he took. And that's definitely slowed him up a bit. Now has to try to find a way to maneuver back into this after that little nugget. But unfortunately now, he knows he's in an even worse spot than he could even have dreamed of. He knew if he was going to try and take down Hammer, he was going to have to really hone his craft and really make a run for it quickly. As you go on board here with Strudwick. Leon's literally right on his dead left side, trying to make the move off on him here, looking to corner him down. Leon's and Hammer now coming up. Look at this. Oh, it's 3 wide for a minute. Hammer, you crazy, crazy man. You're a little bit nuttier than I thought if you're trying to move that down there, my friend. Oh, my. Can't blame him, though. In America, we say you got a set if you do that. I'll give him that. He's got a set, but, man, he sure had more of a set than I think most of these drivers were expecting him to pull off. That is a wild move to be even trying to do there in that kind of sector and that kind of drive-off. Running it right through. Big jump there between Leon's making his way on the right side. Couldn't quite hang it down. Lazarus looking to patrol through. Big move off from everyone else as the pack stacks up again. Leon's currently struggling to keep it going as Spencer Marsh, Alexander Wilford move their way to the train. Each driver trying to get something going. kind of dished in a little bit like that, then you really find yourself in some situations like this here, where you're literally just kind of barraged and caved in each corner, each subsector, making it that much more difficult to run the gauntlet. First lap completed, Spark with the immediate advantage. Beaky and the brain, number 79 of Alexander Wilford, making some moves here. He's got 2 of them already. He puts Niall Killen and Salvatore Garanto. Whoa! Looks like he almost got a little love tap there from old Garanto, though. I'm not sure if that was just intentional or that was a little bit off his turn there. It looked like he was trying to avoid him and then seemed the brakes were locking up. That could have been disastrous, so I tell you that much. And look at this, Niall Killen right now having a little bit of a go at it with Francisco Branco, but Francisco jumps it straight hard off the left side. He got a lot of power off that, and now making his way inward and outward, trying to hold on to the shot, trying to hold on to the drive. We're back on board here with Daniel Thomas as Thorsten Seifert tries to get up there to take and Spark. Momentum and power just showing its way and showing its fame here. Straffarelli a little bit hard on the gas pedal, a little bit too hard on the exits there. Got himself off track. That's going to be another incident report there for him. Remember, these drivers do have an incident limit, so they can't exactly just go and drive it like they stole it. They've got to be somewhat controlled down there. Gapping him off and bridging around right now, trying to catch my breath, but just trying to catch the work around here. And there is another give around. Lazarus moves his way back into the chains. He's got Hammer in his sights, but again, trying to get around these guys is going to be easier said than done. Thorsten Seifert and Daniel Thomas still hard on the gas pedal and on that lap pedal, trying to deal with one another. Frieda Sport, number 76. Thorsten Seifert looking to try and maintain his position while Daniel Thomas looks to try to pound his way through the gas pedal and onto the loud spurt. Oh, that was a mistake, and I don't need to be a road course driver to know what happens there. You make mistakes like that, you open the door. Here comes Daniel Thomas at a big jump on the left side, pass in the spot. Your new second place is a 160 at Daniel Thomas. What a jump there on that left side. Oh my. And he just saw that window just open right up. It got too loose there. Again, once you lose traction on the car, it's like any other racetrack or any other drive. You simply lose power and you lose control. You need grip to maintain an increased endurance, an increased level of speed and control. And without that momentum to use, it literally leaves you guessing and a little sidestepping. In a bad spot like that, you don't want to be in that mess. Field right now, sizing each other up, looking to try and see if maybe they can linger around a little bit more and figure out where the best place is. Only about 22 minutes left in the time zone here. Gap increasing, 2nd and 7/10 now for Kagan Spark, and I think that's really exactly where he wanted to play it at, and that's where he wants to drive it too. A lot of intimate moves here. Whoa! Big jump there. Storson Cypher. I don't think he was expecting Hammer to come in like that. Hammer jumps it right into the turn, made a beautiful pass off, and found his route and perfectly timed it here. That's what you gotta do as a driver. Make your moves and make your runs pretty clear and well known. Jason Leons, Alexander Wilford right now, lingering the way back into the pack and back into the stacks here. Everybody just wants to make their move, make their mark here where they can, but I can guarantee you right now, it's getting harder and harder to find that, and that overwhelming words of success. Lingering up a little bit, Benji Peterson, the 81 and the 977 of Felipe Straffarelli right now, right in the boost, chasing a little bit on that hunt. Felipe here, I think he probably is well thought of and well practiced to try to see if he can kind of take in control of some of these races, but so far it's only been top 10, top 5 speed for him. Nothing wrong with that by any means. I mean, heck, I'd be shooting for that every time I run in this league, but I would think too, with the level of talent he's got and the level of creativity he can use as well, I think honestly, probably thinking maybe he could be a bit better than that though. Ben G. Pearson, number 81 right now, keeping his momentum alive, keeping his control of the speeds and the corners up to par. Making some good use here of the track and making some good use of the speeds here. They aim for the Strudwick here. All eyes are on that top 3 though, with Hammer, Thomas, and Spark continuing to move their way up and make the most of their positions. 1.4 turns to 1.4 tenths there off Spark from Thomas. Although Spark's immediately getting back on the loud pedal and trying to put distance to a 1.5 seconds. Hammer right on the mix and trying to get there to Thomas. Running out of time though. That long straightaway though, man, that will give him some momentum, so it could increase and intensify it just a little bit. Make it that much more worth it and that much more prized possession to use that run up on him. I honestly, the only thing I took this Porsche car through here was about was like through 6th gear, just barely on the loud pedal. I could not for like me bring it to me to just go full send through that corner. I don't know how the heck these guys can. And even then, they'll go through corners like this full send. Strudwick just jarringly smacks it right on Seifert. In terms of passing opportunities and passing moments, I think this track honestly might have Road Atlanta beat a little bit. This has been an impressive battle in Spa-Francorchamps. I hope I'm saying that name right too. Spa-Francorchamps, right? Is that how you say it? Francorchamps? If I'm saying it wrong, somebody in the comment section let me know. And also the drivers, if you know the rule of thumb by now, if I messed your name up, let me know, and I will try my best to get it fixed. Whoa, redhead, oh boy. He kind of pulled up a little too close there to Killen, and it looks like Killen ended up having to lay off a little bit. Didn't want nothing to do with him. Alexander, though, I gotta believe at this point, probably just a little bit annoyed, a little bit infuriated how long this race has kind of taken him by storm and off the rails a little bit. The North American drivers, at least on the Canadian side of things here, trying to make amends, trying to make something up with what they can here. 2 Canadians in total, with Marsh and Straffarelli in that mix. The Germans actually have about a little bit more of a sizable difference. Even the UK drivers pretty about equal as well with those Canadians. Then of course you got a few of them that just mix in their own little planes, their own little race world. Minutes left on the clock right now, and look at Hammer. Now he's caught up there to Thomas, and now it looks like he's not willing to hold back at all. Very impressive work here as Hammer has now done the unthinkable again. I mean, at this point, is there really anything else you can say about him? He knows how to hit it well. He knows how to drive it hard. And he just continues to push it up. Hammer's got a full second left to get there to Kagan Spark, and considering the fact that he's got a half a race left still to finish up, I have a bad feeling Spark may not want to hear this, but I think Hammer may have a chance here. Spark right now probably just kind of holding his breath, kind of holding his own here. Probably knows the end may be near. Rolling it down, 6/10 of a second. Oh man, Hammer is going to give him something here in this next straightaway. I almost guarantee it. Spark may want to find a little spark of hope here, because right now, good, so you're kind of in a bit of a bad spot. Rolling it down, looks like Hammer is going to set him up. Oh, he's setting it up all right. Will he try to cross him? He's going to look for a crossover here. Kagan had the lead for majority of this race, but that might be time to call an end to it. This is your battle for the lead. The long, long road. Lining it off right now, Spark trying to keep Hammer away. He knows he's in trouble though. He knows he's there. He knows he's feeling every bit of the pressure. And he's got to be just thinking, if I give him one opening, he's going to try to take it in. And he's going to. Yep, he's going to. He's going to. Left side. Straight lines it. And he serve it off. He's going to try the crossover. No, it does not work. It didn't work that time. Hammer probably going to look to make up for that mistake there. Honestly, if he's going to get him, I think he's going to have to wait for that long straightaway there at the front stretch to make that move and make that pack off. I think that's honestly going to be his best chance he's going to get. Right through the ripples. Straight to the slide ends. Those corners, man, I tell you, those things got to be an absolute unit to work through. Right back then and in. Now here we go. This is the corners I was talking about. This is where it is do or die time. Spark looking on. Hammer has not had the taste of victory as much as he thinks he should. And now he's looking to try to get it done here. He is dead locked in. And look at Spark. He's going to try to defend him on the right side. Looking to block him from doing it. Hammer, though, is looking to go full send straight in. Can he hit it? It's close. Hammer will get him off the straight. Through the corner now. Spark immediately back in the turn. He forces him. Oh, my! Hammer is on top. Lazarus gets around somehow. He gets through the mess. Are you kidding me? Lazarus gets it ahead and got it jumped right through after an insane move there by Hammer and Spark. Unbelievable, Lazarus. How on earth did you even find the gap to get through that one? Unreal. Straight through the turn. Look at the replay in that one. Look at this. How did he avoid this mess right here? Watch the corner entry. Look at this. Beautiful move by Hammer. Sets the corner up. Now he's in a bit of a pickle. He's going to have to get the dilemma figured out. He can't get the exit off. Spark gets the exit. Then gets tight. Forces him up. Hammer doesn't lift. But instead, he also gets into trouble. And Spark trying to get out of that big hit there. Lazarus looking at him. He just swung it right by. Hammer had nowhere to go and nothing he could do about it. And unfortunately for Spark, it was the same deal. He had nothing he could do other than just hope for the best. And unfortunately, it cost him here. One more look at it. This is truly what desperation looks like sometimes, driving at that speed and that level with nothing you can do about it other than just watch on, and despite horror and objection. And the car, unfortunately, too distraught and too hurt to continue on. We're going to look at this one more time from a different point of view. Watch this. This is Lazarus onboard camera. I couldn't even imagine what it's like to be a spotter this time around. Nothing but free racetrack ahead of you. But he's not alone. He's got Jordan Strudwick there still hanging around back there in that pack. So Lazarus going to have to try to make the best of it. He's got 8 minutes left on the clock. But my word, race fans, this was an absolutely wild, wild situation there. On lap 9 of all things. And in a corner, you wouldn't have expected that on of anything either. And the crazy thing is, Hammer's still got our car. It's still working. He's trying to get back up there with the field. You know, for all of us that said the Americans were just as crazy and had a little bit more of an old racing rubbing mentality and don't mind tearing up a few fenders, I think we need to give the nod to the Europeans as well. These guys and everyone across North America, they have shown they have no fear. They have no scare in them. They only know one thing: to drive what they bring to the table. Respect where respect is due. My word. Rolling up, last laps though, coming up here still. We have 7 minutes left on the clock. Looking for a bit of a pile drive right through the center into the corner. Wilford with company as Jason Leon's trying to fight him. The 718 machine looking to roll it through, but Wilford able to defend, and he gets the bumper split to him right on the table yet again. These guys are nuts. I still don't know how you're even able to maneuver through a track like this, let alone battle like this. That's crazy to me. They're so close, they're so evenly maxed, and just running that kind of circuit, that kind of track racing. I give credit where credit's due in the world of these guys. They deserve all that. I wouldn't be able to figure out where my braking point is, let alone how to even not break my car. Because again, you gotta remember something. These drivers are kidding up speeds of 170 miles per hour. Through these corners right now, they're shooting speeds well over 120 to 130 miles per hour. They are laying it in thick. Just tremendous speeds, tremendous power. And yet they still brake evenly. They still brake right on the mark. And then Mark T. Bruin says to old Spencer Mars, hey, I'll march this one up a little bit, and I'm going to be brewing myself a little nice cup of tea ahead of you, good sir. Got one on him there, but it's still a big, heavy battle for Jason Leons as well as Alexander Wilford. And Wilford, been out-duked and outdone before. He's not trying to let this one happen again to him. But that may not last any more than he's already getting here. And look at Mars back on the gas pedal, and look at that, shoots it off from Marty Bruin. Bruin made a huge mistake there. Speaking of capitalizing on some mistakes every now and then, Corey Lazarus still your leader. And he is already looking to finish this one out. 2 more laps is for sure need to be completed. Jordan Strudwick though, let's just say this man's on a mission. A mission to catch that 85. Question is, will he get that opportunity? Will he get that chance here? Especially with other big names and drivers that were not quite able to live up to that strategy and to that threshold. Time right now is starting to decrease, starting to become harder and harder to get up a threshold from Strudwick. Losing a lot of time still from Lazarus. You can see the desperation attempt starting to set it. This is exactly what Lazarus was feeling on the last bit that he was shooting off for. I think this might honestly be their final lap coming up. Will the white flag approach them? Right now, it's a solid effort for Lazarus and his team. He just needs to keep himself right on the verge and on the nose. Gonna shoot it down. Strudwick right in there. Lazarus looking on. Strudwick stays in contention. Could we see the white flag lap coming up? This time on by, they'll bring it down. Yes, the white flag is out. We have 1 more lap to go. Lazarus needs to keep the pace and keep the control up just 1 more time. We haven't seen an Australian winner in quite some time. Last one that I can recall, well, they came to us from down under on the dirt side. Will we see one coming from the road course side? This could be a very big race for this team in Blackout Motorsports New Zealand. Rolls it right through. Just has a little bit more to go. Strudwick though, sticking with him. Strudwick right now probably just trying to give it everything he's got. You know, they always say it's kind of poetic justice too. Lazarus, what happened at the very beginning of this race? He got narrowly clipped Guy almost taken out of the race. Got himself back up. Kept his cool. He waited, and he patiently kept his momentum up and forced every other driver to have to watch on and know what was going through his mind and what he was trying to play out at. He is just a few short yards away and a couple more corners to diverse through. Rolling it right back off Lazarus, throwing every little bit of speed, every little bit of ounce of power in the last bit. If he can just get it through the tunnel turns here and through the chutes, he's going to be pretty much in the winner's circle. Corey looking back, not knowing where Jordan Strudwick is, probably not even caring. The only thing he cares about is making it through these final sectors. Down through the opening and through the final corners. This is it. Lazarus down the straight. One more big corner to go. Strudwick hoping for a mistake, hoping for a chance. Lazarus doesn't make it. He makes a beautiful corner off. Down the final straightaway for one more time. Corey Lazarus is going to finally get it done and bring it home to Down Under. Lazarus is your race winner here in Francorchamps, bringing it home for Australia and New Zealand. A huge, huge victory for the number 85. And what a race this was. Absolute pure insanity in some areas, absolutely crazy maneuvers in others, led to this finale, which resulted for Lazarus to take control and finish on the highest of notes. Blackout Motorsport New Zealand, right now, I gotta believe, is a very, very happy set of campers. Strudwick, Seifert, second and third in this spot. Man, talk about taking every little bit of speed and every little bit of run they could to get into that top three and hang on. Straffarelli going to go fourth, and then Felipe Hammer just taking in a big W, if you will, for his top 5 spot, but a huge loss for what pretty much was his race in his mind. Only to be outscored and outdone by Spark there. I'm got to believe there's going to be a few words between those two when this is all settled down and in. I feel the celebrations coming here for Lazarus. He's got to drive through all the way across the track. Remember, this is a 2-minute long racetrack just from racing it out as it is here, guys. You got to give him some time to catch up. The celebration commencing here. There he goes. He's got it going, ladies and gentlemen. There is your winner, Corey Lazarus, in round number 4. With Strudwick having a little bit of fun in his honor with him. This is your race results here now on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Finishers up, and this one was a long, long shootout for everybody involved, but Corey Lazarus takes it home. Jordan Strudwick gonna go second. Thorsten Cipher goes third. Felipe Straffarelli gonna go fourth. Philip Hammer gonna go fifth. Salvatore Gariento gonna go sixth. 7 to Spencer Marsh. 8th to Mark D. Bruin. 9th to Kenny Eckert. And 10th to Alexander Wilford. That rounds out the top 10 in this one. What a race. What a day, ladies and gentlemen. That'll about do it for your coverage today. Congratulations to Corey Lazarus for taking on home to victory lane. And race fans, until we see you next time on P10 Race TV, we'll be heading it back down here with Pedal to Metal Racing League. It's going to be a fun little mix and match with some patience to brew. We'll see you then here at Martinsville. But until then, thank you, Spa Francorchamps, for adding on to our tally and our new tracks list. It's been a pleasure here. We appreciate you. Thank you all for tuning in.